Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we've got some Xbox One gameplay featuring the new Caspian border map re-envisioned from Battlefield 3. And as you can see here, everything has changed up quite a bit. This is going to be included in the new Second Assault DLC, which comes with 5 new guns and 4 new maps. The original Caspian border, well known for the big radio tower that comes down in the middle of the battle. Well, we've got a brand new radio tower and we can bring that one down again. And once the tower comes down, its ruins act as a way for players to actually get up onto D point again. D point is one of the most sought over points on this entire map. It's a very valuable point as you can spawn on it and launch attacks at all the other points. So having another access route to it is going to make it very difficult to defend. However, the site has got a lot more areas to hide in. In fact, the entire hill itself has pretty much been hollowed out with an underground bunker. So at the base of the tower, you can actually go down through multiple entry points. I believe there's at least 3, there might be more. You can even take an elevator up on top of the tower if you'd like to get some crazy long-range sniper positions. But as you can see here, we're in sort of this weird server room, I guess a data center that would probably process all the radio stuff. And here next to the giant flammable gas tank, we've got a laptop hooked up to some explosives. And once this timer goes down, and you can trigger this timer much like the bomb on Zavad 311, it will detonate, causing the tower to come down. And you'll notice I'm actually taking an alternate route out of the underground area and coming up here. So there's multiple entry points there, making D point a much more interesting area and giving infantry a lot more cover, because before on Caspian border in Battlefield 3 you were very exposed to aerial attacks. Now you've got an actual underground area to take some cover. Here we are at gas station. It looks very similar. I like the overgrown look that they sort of brought to it, and some of the like ruined areas. As you can see, the gas station itself is partially burned and destroyed. As I cap the point here, the tank is going to spawn in the same area. This is of course Conquest Large, so we still have the same 5 capture points, and the vehicles seem to be pretty much identical to the Battlefield 3 spawns. You get the attack helicopter, 2 jets, some tanks, and anti-air tank. And I'm going down this main road from E point towards Forest, towards A point, and the new forest I really like, you know, these sort of trees that have all changed color. And as we come across the actual border wall here, it's a pretty massive wall. It's something that you can't actually destroy, but these guard towers, I'm going to fast forward through here, if you hit them with enough explosives, you can blow up the top part of the tower. And you can actually go up in those towers as infantry. I'll show you some of that later. But this wall is massive, it's impressive, and it's going to be a major game changer in how this map plays out. Ahead of me you can see the ruins of the old tower, and as I explore the field on foot, you'll see the tower is actually located throughout the entire field here, making this big flat area that was once a sniper's heaven for trying to shoot infantry, an area that has more cover. You can actually go inside the old ruins of the tower. You can hide out inside the pipes themselves. I think this field looks a lot cooler now. I just really like the look and feel of it. The graphics look so great, especially on the Xbox One here. Everything's been optimized so well, so you still get those nice 60 frames per second, and I can't wait to see actually what this looks like on console with 64 players. Other than the tower, there's lots of ruined tanks and vehicles and trucks and that sort of thing littered throughout the battlefield, and it really does make you feel like there was once a huge battle that went on here. The wall itself is a big addition to the map, and I'm very curious to see how it plays out. I think just based on how I saw it so far, it seems like it might actually favor the Russian side just a little bit, because it's going to give the US side fewer ways to actually get through the wall itself. So the Russians might have some opportunities to try and slow down the ground movement from the US. Now from the aerial view, you can see that the wall itself actually spans the entire area of the map. There's 2 main entrances to it on either side that you can get through. The point by point B actually has gates that you can open and close for blocking vehicles. In the center of the map, closest to C point, there is an area of the wall that has collapsed. This offers a 3rd access point through the wall. So technically there's only 3 ways to get through the wall if you're on ground, which for a map of this size is actually pretty small. So it'll offer some really interesting ground choke points, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Now once the tower comes down, that will destroy part of the wall and give you a 4th access point. Now the wall itself is actually designed to keep the US side out of the Russian side, provided that the Russians actually started off controlling the map. That button there accesses the vehicle blocks, and those will actually stop tanks. They'll destroy jeeps moving at a fast speed. The towers here have infantry access, so you can go into the towers themselves and get access to the very top of the tower, and there's even some cool control points at the top, and it's going to be an engineer's heaven for taking out vehicles moving along the wall. Imagine being up here at the top of the tower with a javelin, or having some recon with SOFLAMs or PLDs locking onto ground vehicles. I can see this being a very, very powerful defensive structure. Also, the ability to lock onto air vehicles is going to be very powerful as well. Now, again, we notice that tanks can destroy the top parts of these towers, but you can also move along the longer part of the wall by just going down one level. And although it's potentially very exposed, I can still see this area being a great place to launch stingers and get the initiative on some of those air vehicles. So overall, I love this update to Caspian Border. I can't wait to play it again. I think it's one of the best Conquest large maps for vehicle and infantry combat. The wall itself may favor the Russian side, and we'll really just have to play a lot of Conquest large to figure it out. I seem to remember the US winning most of the Conquest games on Caspian Border, so hopefully this will balance things out a little bit more. This is the first time that we're able to experience these Conquest large maps on the console systems and fill them out with 64 players, and it's really kind of an exciting moment because this is sort of the foundation for Battlefield. These large maps, vehicle-oriented, infantry-oriented also, and this is really how Battlefield kind of got started, and I feel like the consoles have never really been able to properly experience that, and finally now we have it, fully 64-player Caspian Border available on the Xbox One. So that's just kind of an exciting moment for me personally, and I think it's going to be a really great benefit to the Battlefield community in general. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.